Hi everyone, Donna from Simply Living Wellness, and I had to get on this evening to share this story about my severe allergic reaction I'm having. It's kind of calming down now a little bit. About an hour ago, I was extremely red in the face and flushed all the way down to my chest. I started getting asthma. I had to use my inhaler, which I hate to use and I rarely use, but here's what's happened. So I went on a cleanse. Well, I should say over the last couple of years, every once in a while I was getting this reaction. And the first time I got it, I was really scared because I was getting asthmatic and I thought maybe my throat was closing up and it was like a celiac type reaction, but it never got that bad. But I kept getting this every once in a while. And I kind of suspected it might be wine, but I drink wine a lot and it wouldn't happen. And so then all of a sudden it would happen and I couldn't really quite figure out what it was. And it wasn't all the time, it was just occasionally. So then the last month and a half, I've been on a very strict cleanse. And actually it's ketogenic. But I started with a dear friend and coach with Infinity Kitchen, Mary Beauchamp. She has a program and I followed with a group, and it's a ketogenic cleanse, but it's so much more than ketogenic. Mary does an amazing job with this group cleanse that she takes us through. And we did this bone broth protocol for several weeks. Well, you could do it from anywhere from a few days to several weeks, depending how much gut healing you need to go through. And so I've been basically doing bone broth and healthy fats and avocado and a little bit of greens and some superfoods like special mushrooms and cacao and some other really nutritious foods, but very clean. That's about all I ate. Even limiting some vegetables and definitely no grains at all, no dairy. And I have felt better than I've felt in a long time. My brain fog lifted. I didn't even know I had brain fog till I went on this cleanse. My energy's been over the top. I mean, I'm sleeping less. I don't yawn all afternoon like I normally would. I just am so much more clear-minded. That's what I mean by the brain fog lifting, just clear-minded, like I just so much quicker on the ball thinking and sharpness. And anyway, so I've been on this cleanse and I did kind of have a cheat day where I had a glass of wine and I had this severe reaction, and then it happened again. And tonight I had a glass of wine. We went to a very gourmet restaurant and amazing food, and they only serve beer and wine or non-alcoholic. And I really wanted a glass of wine with my very expensive but delicious meal. And so I did, and I figured this might happen again, and sure enough it did. And so I know 100% that I am allergic to wine, and it's not until you clean your body out that you then can actually experience reactions to foods. It's why they introduce foods one by one to infants. So when you first start putting an infant on whole foods, you do it one at a time and you wait a week in between each food item or each food group at least. And it's the same idea. So when your body is completely cleaned because you've eliminated all these potentially offending foods, when you bring it back in one by one, you can tell if your body really doesn't do well with it, or if it's going to make you sick, or have these severe reactions. I mean, I am burning up, and I'm able to breathe again. I used my inhaler, but I was getting very short of breath and really kind of scary. And so I just encourage all of you to consider doing a cleanse, because most people are intolerant to many foods like gluten, like dairy, like soy, like sugar, in my case, wine. And we don't even know it because we eat these foods and we don't have an immediate reaction. And so we don't think it's that food, but we have other chronic conditions like asthma or ADD or stuffy nose or allergies or maybe indigestion or gas or bloating, depression. I mean, the list goes on, but we have these things that we attribute to other things. Like we think allergies are all caused by pollen, or we think depression is caused by trauma, but these things can be affected by the food, or created by the foods that we're eating, or the wine we're drinking, or whatever it might be. And so we really don't know. It's called an elimination diet, but when you eliminate all these foods except just a very select few very clean foods, all organic, and then start introducing them one by one, that's what elimination diet is. And then you can know how your body reacts to them. So I encourage you to consider doing it. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot. You'll feel great, first of all. And, you know, doing a cleanse like that doesn't mean starving yourself, or it does mean getting over addictions, food addictions, and habitual eating, emotional eating. All of those things we do, we have to break those habits. So just going on the cleanse is, you have to break through those habits. So I didn't starve at all. In fact, I feel completely satiated, but I do have to break those habitual things. Like I always want to have a piece of chocolate after a meal. And even though it's super healthy, 85% cacao, organic chocolate, but I always have to have it right after a meal. So this cleanse is helping me break those habits. And the great thing about Mary's program is that she helps you get through those habitual things that we just do without even realizing, right? We're not even conscious of it. So she helps you become aware of those things so that we can get rid of it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because I was so flushed, and I wanted to actually get on camera while I had this going on so that people could experience it. Of course, it's hard to see in this lighting, but anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask on this post, and I'm happy to answer. Have a beautiful evening, everyone.